Hello, welcome to my stream. This is, I think the 61st stream I'm doing on this, if my YouTube counting is correct. So this is taking longer than I thought it would, but this is all good stuff. Let's move over to my main display here. This is where we left off yesterday. We just finished up changing the way the combat system works. So that's all up and running now. We did show head. We can take a look at what we did. We added, the last thing we added was this ability for mobs to have their own innate attacks. Rather than having to wield weaponry to get bonuses, they can have bonus attacks based on their innate abilities, and we call those natural attacks. And then, so what we're doing now is modifying the user interface. So now that we've worked a little bit on the inner guts, I guess we're going with the outer guts. Let's see. Along with the town, the first thing your player sees will be your user interface. We've chugged along with a reasonably decent one for a while, but it's not a great one. Ideally, a user interface should make the game approachable to new players, while still offering enough depth for returning ones. It should support keyboard and mouse input. I know many longtime roguelike players hate the mouse, but many newer ones love it. And offer feedback as to what the symbol soup actually means. Symbols are a great way to represent the world, but there is a learning curve while your brain comes to associate G with a goblin and imagines a scary little blighter. Cogmind is an inspiration for ASCII user interfaces. Okay, if you haven't played it, I wholeheartedly recommend giving it a look. Yeah, it's a science fiction roguelike where you have robots and parts and things, and you build, instead of building like with rusty swords and stuff, you build with modules, which is kind of neat. I haven't played it myself, but I've seen videos of it. If you haven't, also in a conversation with the creator of Red Blob Games, he gave some very insightful commentary on the importance of a good UI. Building a UI up front helps you realize if you can show the player what you're making and can give really good feel for what you're building. So once you are past initial prototyping, building a user interface can act as a guide for the rest. He's a very wise man, so we'll take his advice. I like to sketch out a UI in RexPaint. Here's what I first came up with for the tutorial game. Okay, it's not a bad start. We've expanded the terminal to make to 80 by 60, which is pretty common resolution for these games. We've shrunk the amount of screen devoted to the map. Yeah. So it's to show you more pertinent information. The bottom panel is the log. The top right shows some important information. I guess this is your health and stuff. Next panel down lists your equipped inventory, and below that will show consumables, complete with hotkey to activate them. Oh, I see. Shift 1, Shift 2. Okay. Below that, we're showing an example spell. That's not implemented yet. Oh, this here? Okay, it looks like Control 1. You'll also start well fed, so we'll show that too. So changing the console size, we're going to modify this. Okay. This is going to change our little user interface here, so we might have to make this console a little bit bigger if we're changing it to 80 by 60. Okay, let's do this. I keep forgetting its main RLTK builder. Oh, it's right there at the top. So we have simple 80 by 50. I'm going to change it to simple 80, comma 60. There. Unwrap. Oh, we have to unwrap it. Yeah, okay. If you cargo over now, you'll see a bigger console and nothing making use of the extra space. So we have a bunch of extra space down here. We certainly can run it. I'll run it over here. Oops, I'm in Twitch search. I forgot. There we go. Yeah, that's something else I want to clean up. Is this make this column a proper column and not just hard coded to 14 characters. All right, so yeah, so now you can see it's 10 characters bigger down here, and we have a bunch of oh, that's interesting. I didn't realize there was 2. Oh, because I'm yeah, okay. All right, so I'm centered in the map now. You can see the edges of the map there, and then we're painting down here with the edges. I didn't realize we were doing that automatically. All right, and let's see what it looks like in the browser. Hopefully it won't take too long to build, and I'll hit refresh over here. Yeah, so it's taller now. Yep, so the same kind of idea. And we can center on that and see that. Okay. So we have to move things around now, right? So restricting the rendered map. The prototype has the map starting at 1.1 and running to 48.44. So open up camera and we'll change the boundaries. Instead of using the screen bounds, we'll use our desired viewport. Okay. Oh, the prototype. Hi, Just a Bubble. Good morning to you too. So this is going to be 48.44. So we're hard coding these sizes in, huh? And then everything else stays the same. Instead of reading the screen size and scaling to it, we're constraining the map to the desired viewport. Where do we set the min max? Oh, I see. He just commented this out. Okay, maybe we can do that as well, just to make sure. We can always go back to it and maybe base the size off of the. Right, this is a screen bound, but we want to shift it. We want to shift it over. I guess we don't care. Instead of reading the screen size and scaling to it, we're constraining the map to the desired viewport. We kept the CTX parameter even though we aren't using it, so as to not break all the other places that use it. Oh, okay. Okay, the map viewport is nicely constrained, and you can see it over to the left here. Should we run that? Sure. Only takes 6 seconds to build, right? Actually, that's right. I was doing a release build. Let me make that a debug build. I think debug builds go faster. Okay, this is slower. The first one only took 6 seconds. All right, so yeah, now we're cutting off the map there, so you can see that's all we see is this tiny little square of map. That should be sufficient, right? Okay, let me try this. I know debug is default, but I'll put it there explicitly anyway. All right, drawing boxes. We'll go into GUI. Okay, let me see how long it takes to build it. Oh, I guess debug isn't allowed as an option. That's annoying. All right, so we're building this all now. That's unfortunate. Go into GUI RS and specifically draw UI and start to place basic boxes that make up the user interface. We'll also comment out the parts we aren't using yet. Our LTK box function works well, but it fills in the box. That's not what we need here. So at the top of GUI, I added a new function, draw a hollow box. Okay. Just a Bubble says it'll take longer the first time because you got to build all the libs too. Yeah, I wasn't thinking straight when I did that. I just wanted to see if a debug build. So what I'm going to do is change one file. We'll put this in and then we'll see how long it takes to build debug. It took 17 seconds to build the release version because it was doing all the extra optimization. So I'm hoping the debug version takes less time. Yeah, that took a minute. That's right. So let's go into the GUI. We're going to create a new function called, we're making it public. Okay. Draw a hollow box. Size X, size Y, I'm guessing. Width. There we go. Width. Height. And foreground and background. And it doesn't return anything. Okay. And then use, oh, see, they're doing that. Okay, use RLTK. Yeah, let's just put that up here. Oops. My keyboard has that touch bar thing. So every so often I touch the touch bar. 2CP437. Okay, so that way we don't have to put it here. And then we just say console set SX, SY, FG, BG, 437. And I'm going to just copy paste these characters because I don't know how to type them. And then we're going to set SX plus width to this thing. Oh, I get both of them. There we go. And then SY plus height. We'll do the other one. And then both. Plus width. And this character. Okay, that's the squares. Oops. Why didn't I like that? Oh, I missed all of these. $sign, there we go. Whoops. Okay. 4x in SX plus 1 to SX plus width. We're going to draw the top and bottom rows. Console set. Let's just grab this. Put it in twice. This changes to SX, SX, like that. And then we just change these two characters to this. And then we do the same thing for Y. This guy here. And these are going to be vertical. And the S changes to just Y. Okay, so that's hollow box. Oh, that doesn't like it. Oh, 2 dots. There we go. And now we'll do draw UI. Oh, we're going to just start the basics here. Okay. So all of this stuff, this is the old draw UI. Let's keep it around like that. Actually, like that. Takes the ECS world and CTX RLTK. Yeah, so what they did was they just grabbed this. Okay. We already have the RLTK thing. Gray, RGB. Back. Oops. That's definitely a programming error if that doesn't work. And this is black. And instead of from hex, we just say named RLTK black. And then we're going to draw these boxes. Draw. 7959. Box gray. Black. Oh, and I messed the W. There we go. And this is going to be 49 and 45. This is going to be 45, 79, and 14. And then we have 49 here, 0 and 30, and 8. Oops. Like that. Can't find draw hollow box. Did I just write it up here? Did I mistype it? I did. I also left the W off this guy. That's funny. Oh. Okay, so let's see what this looks like. Let's do a build. All right, let's see how long it takes to build. Come on, really fast, really fast. Nope. Oh, not bad. Under 6 seconds. Okay, I can live with that. Although it's not working. Why isn't this working? I should have seen all of those hollow boxes and none of this stuff here. What did I do wrong? Right, it should be calling this draw UI. I'm confused now. Because it's definitely calling this old draw UI because it's got the HP and the horizontal bars and all that kind of stuff. Why isn't this? Did I hit refresh too soon? No, not that. Oh. Yeah, definitely rebuilt these things. I was thinking, oh, maybe it put it in a different location. Oh, maybe it did. Yeah, I was pulling that up release here. There we go. Justin Bubble says there's an issue, draw hollow box. I'm doing plus height and plus width for both lines. Okay, let me take a look at that. What was it in GUI? I wish I had line numbers turned on so you could tell me which line. Everything looks okay to me. We do the upper left corner, the upper right corner, the lower left corner, the lower right corner. And then we do the horizontal lines and the vertical lines. Oh, I see what you're saying. Here. There we go. I think that's what you meant. Okay. Sorry, I was a little slow on the uptake there. Now, the problem was that it was generating the WASM from the release build of the code. If we look at our build script, I cargo build to the WASM 32 unknown, and my target, my version was release before, and then WASM bindgen was using release in here. So it was using the old version of the code. So now we get a nice little crash. Oh no, there we go. It was just slow. Maybe because it's a bug. All right, so this seems to be working. It's got the boxes. The boxes don't connect like here and here. It don't connect properly. But maybe that's something we can fix later. But now we have a nice little map. Oh yeah, this is oh my god, this is so slow. Compared to the release. Wow. Okay. Yeah, we're going to switch back to release because speed. I didn't realize how much slower it would be going into debug mode. It takes a little longer to build, but I can live with that if it means I can type a key and not wait 3 seconds for it to respond to my key press. Yeah, I'm holding down the space bar. I'm getting 1 frame a second here. Okay. Let's rebuild that in release mode and see what happens. And then I'll hold down the space bar and we'll be able to compare. Oh, Vidal, hi. How are you? Welcome back. Alright, so let me refresh this. And now I'll hold down the space bar. And you can see how they're running around like mad. It's a lot better. Okay. That's better. Alright, so this gives us a cropped map and the basic box outline from the prototype graphic. Now we'll add some box connectors in, making... Okay, so we're going to add all those guys in. Alright. It'd be nice if we could have Draw Hollow Box figure out what was there and draw the correct thing. I'm going to grab this character here. And then we'll put another one at 49.8. Okay. And then at 49.0, we're going to put a down T. And then at 49.45, I'm going to put it an up T. And then... Oh, I keep forgetting this thing here. There we go. And then at 79.8, we're going to put a left T. That, and then at 79.45, we'll put another left T. Okay, so that's good. So let's see if those get filled in correctly. And make sure that I didn't mess up any offsets and things. At some point we'll get to the world, and that warning will go away. Yeah, okay, so these all look nice and clean now. Good. Adding a map name. It looks really nice to show the map name at the top, but maps don't currently have a name. Let's rectify that. Open up map mod and modify map structure. Pub name string. We'll also modify the constructor using the toString pattern we've used elsewhere to let you send anything somewhat string-like. Interesting. Okay. And then a name of S. And then down here we'll say name to string. I wonder if these get our default. If I leave these out, I don't, probably not. Yeah, probably not. Let me just see. Oh, we've left off the map name now. So now we have to change this in builder chain. Let me go back to the map code. Comment this. I want to see what those default to, if anything. A little slight detour here on our journey. Oh, okay. So those work as default. So we can pull all these guys out. That's good. And then this S2 string, name S, and name to string. All right, so now we're gonna start working on the map builders, right? So this is the first one, but we can pull up the map mod.rs for map builders. Builder chain. And this also gets in map name. And then we stick it in here somewhere. Oh, down in here. Okay. All right. Also, line 268 changes to let map builder equals builder chain new, blah, 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 new map. I don't like these line numbers because my line numbers are going to be very different. New map. The main line 465. Oh, okay. So in our main, we also have to, when we generate the new map, we have to give it a new map name. Finally, in map builder's town, change the constructor name from our town. Okay, so town. The town of Bracketon. The town of Bracketon. Okay, and I missed something here. There we go. After all that, let's draw the map name in the GUI. But we still have a problem with this waveform collapse thing, right? Is this... Is this the only other one? Let's RG map new. That's hash map new. That's not helpful. Yeah, there's 3 places in waveform collapse that we do that. This is the one we already changed, add name. And this is the one we changed. So I think we just left off the waveform collapse thing. Let's just add that in here. Waveform collapse. And then where else do we have new? Here's another one. Tile gallery. And then there's one more, right? Chunk gallery. Okay, that should do it. Hopefully. Yes, okay, so now it builds. So let's do this part where we actually put the town name on there in the GUI. So should we draw the map name, right? Name length. Oh, we're going to center it over to. Okay. We're going to grab this character, I guess. X, pause, and 0. Right? And then we're going to grab this other character. And this is going to be X, pause, plus name length as I32. And 0. And that. And then CTX print color. X pause plus 1, 0, white, black, map name. And then we're going to do a standard mem drop map. We don't need to do that right now, but I imagine there's more code coming that's going to use ECS and we don't want to borrow multiple times. All right, so we do need, I see white here, and I think they just left off this. So let's do that. White here and white here. Oh, ECS dot fetch. And this one's X pause, like that. Okay. Yeah, and that cleaned up the warning because now we're using ECS. So let's see if we see the town of Bracketon up there. Nope. All we get is a backtrace here. Town builders. Build map. Yeah, there's no line number. Okay. That's when we run it over here. Len is 0, but the index is 0. Mod.rs 57. Map mod rs. That's what. 57. This is in the. Oh! Yeah, and it's because I pulled out these things. I guess they default to nothing. Alright, so let's put all these back. Oops. Git diff. Just 1 second here. Alright, so let's grab these lines. Right? That's unfortunate. I was hoping it would fill it in with... There. I was hoping it would fill it in with some defaults, but I guess not. Alright, so that was a self-induced error. The one advantage of having these long build times is that I can mute the mic and take a quick sip of water while I'm doing that. Alright, and now we have the town of Bracketon. Although there's this extra thing here. I wonder what we did wrong in terms of the layout. Do they have that there? I can't tell. Maybe they do. These screenshots are... Let me see if we can open a new tab. And if there's a... I can't make it bigger. Well, I can, but it just gets blurry. I guess those lines are there. And that's interesting. They don't have the... Alright. So ours is slightly better because ours starts here, and I think they just shifted over by 1. That's fine. That's fine. Okay. All right, showing health, mana, and attributes. We can modify the existing code for health and mana. The following will work. Okay. So where's our health and mana? Should we just copy paste that code? Player entity. I don't see that code here. Yeah. I'm looking in the old code and I see the HP stuff and the draw horizontal bar and the hunger state. Alright. Well-fed, hungry, and starving. So that should... Yeah, so here's the health and mana. Oh, we don't have mana. Okay, you know what we'll do is we'll just do it from scratch here. Rather than trying to copy-paste whatever's... Right, that's right. The only entity that's in the resources is the player. Player pools hit points current. And player pools hit points max. And then we'll do mana. Mana. And this becomes mana. And that becomes mana. Okay. And then we're going to print the health and the mana. 51 white, black health. And then 52 white, black mana. And then we're going to draw 2 bars. $64, 1, 14. Hit points current. Player pools hit points max. I assume that's all that's there. Oh, and then we need the colors red and black. And blue and black. Okay. Let's put those up here. Red and blue. Red and blue. So we can just throw those in here. Red and black. And then copy paste, change the 1 to a 2, change the hit points to a mana, and this will be blue and black. Okay. Underneath we want to display the attributes. Since we're formatting each of them the same, let's introduce a function. So we have a draw attribute function. Let me test this first. Ooh, the file has changed. Dang. No, I don't. No. Let's write this to G and then see what the differences are. Diff, G, and that guy. Oh, source, tutorial. I hate it when I do that. So the left is what we just added, and the right is what's there. So that's annoying. Okay. Do I have any more? No. Good. So what I did was I just messed up and I had two of them opened at the same time. So here's to draw the town name. And this is the code we just added. So let's see if we can just grab this and paste it in. Because this doesn't have the town, this bottom file doesn't have the town name code in it. There we go. And then we need to grab red and blue. There. Okay. So does that check? Nope. This is an associated function, not a method. What did I do wrong here? Pools.get. Player entity unwrap. Oh, it's not fetch, it's read storage. Just a Bubble says, hate when I do that, always leaving Vim open in the background. Yeah, I gotta get out of that habit. But sometimes, you know, I hit Control-Z to do something and then I mean to hit FG afterwards and come back, but I don't. Alright, so that checks. Let's take a look to see if those health and mana bars show up. Any second now. Right there. Nice. Okay, so those are showing up, and hopefully they're similar to the way the user interface is up at the top. Yeah, health and mana right there. And then we're going to do these attributes: might, quickness, fitness, and intelligence. Adding a map name. Here's the town builder. Okay, this is what we're up to. Draw attribute. Okay. Good. All right, so let's put it here. And again, we're going to grab black. And then let adder gray. From hex is going to be a very light gray. And then CTX, print and color. 50 at Y. And then let color, RGB. RGB from F32 100. Okay. Else, if attribute modifiers 0, RGB, oh, we can just say white. And this should be red, right? Okay, I'll leave that alone. White, and then otherwise it's green. Else green. How is that going to get formatted? Oh, I messed a comma up there, and I messed a comma up here. All right, so that's how that's getting formatted. We have to pull an attribute. Okay, and then that's the color. CTX print color 67Y, color black. Format. Attribute base plus attribute modifiers. And then I'm going to print at 73 attribute bonus. Like that. And then we say if attribute bonus is greater than 0, set 72 Y color black 2 CP 437 plus sign. Okay, so that draws the attribute. We should get a warning that the function is not used. That's fine. And then we're going to grab our attributes from here. Oh, this really gets spread out by the formatter, doesn't it? Okay. And then draw might and adder might for CTX. This is going to be quickness. Oops. Fitness. I'll come back and fix those 4s in a second. Intelligence. This is 5, 6, 7. Cargo run now, and you'll see we're definitely making progress. Okay. Still doesn't like attributes. Oh, is it just singular? No, it says plural here. Oh, maybe I pulled in the wrong thing. Yeah, attributes. Just a Bubble says you probably can make that smaller with destructuring, let HP, put mana pool, and so on. Oh. We're talking about, yeah. Here. You can get all 4 of them. I think there's only 4. I think you're right about that. Something like that. All right, let's come back to that in a second. I just want to get this, take a quick look at that. Oh. It's going to be attributes with a plural. Yeah. Okay. So hopefully this will work now. Ugh. Didn't like any of that. Oh, it is attribute singular. So I need both. I should be running cargo check instead of just assuming. There we go. Now it's right. Come on. Okay. Yeah, so there we go. Might, quickness, fitness, and intelligence. They're all zeros, which is wrong because they should be defaulting to 11. So we have a bug somewhere that's not setting up our attributes correctly. What was the name of that file? I can't remember now. Wow, I forgot the name of that file that has. Oh, maybe it's in a. Is it in RAWs? We added it recently where we calculate HP, right? There was I forget the name of the function now. But we're not doing something correctly when we spawn the player. So let's take a look at the player spawner. And the player should get attributes. Yeah, that's it. Player HP at level. Okay. And where is that defined? We'll find out in a second when it finally jumps to it. Come on. But we're definitely putting level 11 in here. And we're showing 0 here. There it is. Player HP per level is 10 plus the attribute bonus. Attribute bonus is value of the bonus minus 10 over 2. And what's our attribute bonus? Right now, all of our attributes are defaults. Might, quickness, fitness, and intelligence. Oh no, this is the hit points. Right. Okay, so what are attribute defaults? Where is this defined? And is there I do derive default. And this does default to new base 11. And this derives default, which should just use this. Unless it doesn't. Let's try it. Impl default for attribute default And then it's just the same line. What did I do wrong? Oh, yeah, I don't need this here anymore if I'm going to implement it myself. Okay. Let's see if this is the bug. I thought the default would call new, but I guess I was mistaken. If this works. If this works, I'm going to change it so default does call new. That way the code's in one spot. Okay, so that was the bug. All right. Bad on me. Oh, it was in components. Yeah. So I'll just have it call new like that. That way this 11 is in one spot. Okay. So that's fixed. This works. Is this a good point to checkpoint the code? And then we can try out Just a Bubble suggestion. Yeah, Just a Bubble says default might set up the internal fields with their defaults being 0. So yeah, I think that's what we just learned. Rust learning stream, right? Okay. Yes, let's checkpoint this. Let's clippy it first. What is it like here? The if chain can be rewritten with a match. Can you do that with matches with a less than 0 and stuff like that? How do you write matches like that? Let's learn. Rust match negative number. Help on matching a negative number. Yeah, patterns don't support open-ended ranges, but you can use constants for endpoints. So we'd be able to match on this. Oh, you can also use match guards. Let's try that. Let's try a match guard. So we can change this to match attribute modifiers, and we'll say x if x is less than 0, arrow RGB from F32 1.0.0. 0 is going to get white, and everything else is going to be RGB from F32 0.1.0. Delete that. Does that check? Yeah. Okay. I like that. Status. I can't spell today. There we go. Oh, and then remove that G file. Git add. Oh, commit. Started working on the GUI. Just a Bubble says that's cool. Yeah, it is pretty cool. Git show head. Yeah, so this, yeah, it might be, I'm not sure if it's easier to read because the cargo format doesn't format all these arrows in an aligned way. It would be nice if it spaced these arrows over so everything would line up. But I think that works. Okay. So now we're going to add in the equipped items. A nice feature of the prototype UI is that it shows what equipment we've equipped. That's actually quite easy, so let's do it. We iterate equipped items if the owner equals the player. We display their name. Okay. Quick check for jobs. Tutorial and GUI. There. Jeez. So after this, after attributes, we'll put in equipped. What's this doing? This Y business. Oh yeah, so we're going to do an enumerate instead. Instead of this mut Y thing. Because I think the only place it's used is for this, right? So otherwise Clippy complains. Oh, can we do that join.enumerate? Let's see. Let's see if this works. Otherwise, we'll fall back to what they've got here in the tutorial. And it's offset by 9. Let's see if that checks. It does, okay. Let's see what it looks like. Alright, so we can see all the stuff we've equipped, and if I hit R for remove, it's the same list. It'd be nice if it showed what slot it was in, but maybe that's coming later. Okay, adding consumables. This is also easy. Oh, I see. So we're just getting the last one of that. And just, I see. So what we're going to do is figure out how many are here and then use the Y to move down to the next level. Is there an easier way to do that? Or a smarter way to do that? I guess the join, we don't have the len, do we? Alright. I guess we'll do this. That's too bad. And then here we say Y plus equals 1. And hope Clippy doesn't complain. Green. Why aren't we using RGB named? From F32. Nope. RGB. And then yellow. Is there no green? Or maybe the green is not a pure green? Maybe that's why he's doing it this way. Let consumables, ECS read, storage. Consumable. And then in backpack. In backpack. And then we're doing index. So hopefully we won't need the index. Where's index used? Index is less than 10, so we're only going to show up to 10. So we can use take 10, right? Is there any reason to use index? We add 1 to Y to force it down a line, then set index to 1, not 0, because we're aiming for keys across the keyboard. Oh, interesting. Then we join backpack consumables names. For each item, we check the owner is a player and the index is still less than 10. If it is, we print the name in the format arrow 1, dried sausage, where 1 is the index. Add 1 to the index, increment Y, and we're good to go. Cargo run now, we'll see we're definitely getting closer. So they're showing the index of the items that you're carrying. Just a Bubble says, do you think the order of the items after the join is based on the order of the items in the brackets? The order... So this maps to this, right? The equipped by maps to equipped, and item name maps to name. So these orders are the same. But the order that the join iterator returns them, I don't know that there's any specific order for that. But if there isn't, then these would change every step, right? They could flip around, which would be annoying. I don't know how the join finds them and if it's preserved order. That's a question for specs, I think, and I don't know the answer. So we're only going to print the first 10. All right, I'm going to try the enumerate one more time for index, comma, consumable and item name. We don't need to put in the variable name if we're not using it. Backpack, consumables, name. The only reason we're doing it, take 10, enumerate. I think we can do that. If carried, oh, we can't do it that way. We can't do take 10 because we're looking for things that are in a back, but the only things that should be carried by, that are in the backpack, should be owned by the player. All right. If carried by owner is a player entity. I mean, when would that not be true? And index is less than 10. I'm going to copy paste this arrow. Looks very different on this in this font, doesn't it? Index. And then 53. Green black. And this is just going to be item name name. And then we have to keep indexing on Y. Oops. Like that. Just a Bubble says, I think the index is only getting increased when it is true. Could be a problem for enumeration. Yeah, so that's what I was thinking, you know, if the only things in a backpack and consumable and have a name, that's what this tuple is doing. It's saying, is asking specs for a list of everything that's in a backpack, is consumable, and has a name. So all these conditions are true. Give me that entity into carried by, consumable, and item name. Right? And so now the thing is, anything that's in the backpack is going to be carried by the player. What would be in the backpack that's not carried by the player? So theoretically, only things that this should be returning are things that are carried by. That should always be true, what I just highlighted. Carried by owner is equal to player entity. So, but you're right. If we skip over something here, all right. If we skip over something, then it'll say like 1, 3, 6, 7, 8 or something like that. What if you give mobs backpacks in future for loot drops or something? Good point. All right. All right. Well, that was a useful exercise to think that through, right? I think. That's my excuse. All right, so while we find things, and there's up to 10 of them, the only catch is that this has to, because we're adding, it looks like we're adding hotkeys, right? So the player can hit 1, for example, hit the number 1 and get dried sausage. That means that the code that uses this, that processes the keys, has to get the items in the same order that are being displayed in the UI. And I don't know how we're going to guarantee that. All right, so does this check? Oh, we don't have consumable and in backpack. Oh, we do have in backpack. Okay, so this checks. Let's generate the WASM. Okay, and refresh. Ooh, what did I do? I shifted something down wrong. Oh, I'm still adding 9. Duh. Okay, that's an easy fix. Okay, but these are showing up. That's good. If I hit 1 or 2, nothing happens because we haven't done that side of things yet. We'll worry about making the consumable hotkeys work momentarily. Let's finish the UI first. Okay, status effects. We'll gloss over this a little because we currently only have 1. This is a direct port of the previous code, so no need for too much explanation. So this is the hunger state code. From the old draw UI. Okay, so let's grab that. And then HC is hunger state get. Oh, yeah, so last time we did it this way. This time we can just read it directly. What we were doing here was for every player that has combat stats and hunger, print this. Because we were getting more than just the hunger state. Okay. Let's pull this up here. And that's exactly the same. Green, orange, yeah, so orange. I don't have orange. Let's put orange in here. And then the old draw UI, I think we can finally just blow that away because we're all done. Player, PLAYER. There we go. Although we do have 4 warnings. That's weird. Let's see what they are. Oh, yeah, now that I pulled out that code. Oh, green here. Okay. And draw tooltips. Yeah, okay, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. The positions of the hunger lines are different. Oh! Okay, let's fix that. So I don't have to do all these RLTKs because I'm pulling those in. Oh, and yeah, and green we're not using anymore. Okay, and there was something else we weren't using. Okay, let's fix the hunger state locations. It's no longer down here. It's in 5044. There we go. Let's display the log. Yeah, I haven't done this yet. All right, let's add the log in here. And then we can fix the warnings. Let log is ECS fetch. Oh, it was game log we're not using anymore, but now I'm adding it back in. Okay. And now we're going to switch this over to 46. And this is definitely going to be a Clippy error for S in log entries. Iter reverse. Wow. Again, making it, I see colors a future topic. Okay. Yeah, we're not calling draw tooltips, and there's probably another function we're not calling somewhere. Okay, not going to worry about it right now. Let's take a look at the game log, and then we'll throw the tooltips in there. Oh, player, that's right. Okay, and there's well fed down there, and there's the game log. Okay, so we're good. If I hit space, game log works. Patrons are done talking. Now we can go outside and listen to the fishermen talk. Fisher people. Okay, so that's all working nicely. And then let's add the tooltips in. We'll put that right after the game log here. Yeah, there was something wrong with the tooltips. It wasn't, something was getting overwritten. Inside draw tooltips, we first have to compensate for the map now being at an offset from the screen. We'll simply add 1 to the mouse map pause. Subtract 1. That's what, so this says add 1 and this subtracts 1 here. Okay. Hopefully that works. That gets us our old tool system working, but the prototype shows a spiffy new display, so we'll need to create a way to make these pretty tooltips and arrange them. Ooh, we're going to create a new tooltip struct. Okay. Let's see if this works with the tooltips. Oh, right. Player is no longer used. And let's see if the tooltips show up. And they do, sort of, not for the barkeep. Huh. Oh, it's offset. The barkeep. Okay, yeah, it's offset by 1 here. That's weird. So I'm pointing down and to the right, and that's where things are showing up. And that must be the result of subtracting 1. I guess we didn't need to subtract 1. Well, we're rewriting the whole tooltip thing anyway, so not going to worry about it. So let's get this checked in. Let's see if Clippy complains about the game log index. Oh, it doesn't. All right, we'll live with it. We already have a mut y. Is there a reason to create a shadow of that? All right. More updates to the GUI. Okay. So now we're going to do the tooltips. All right. Since tooltips can be thought of as a self-contained entity, we'll make an object to define them. So let's start down here. I guess we're putting this still in the GUI code. The tutorial doesn't say where to put them in, if they go in their own file or... And this function doesn't, like, it's not an impl on the tooltips like this is. So it's a design choice, I guess. And the fact that this new is not pub means that Yeah, this has to be in the GUI file. Okay, and then width. Can we, oh, that's interesting. Max is I32 plus 2I32. Can we just do this in a functional way? Can we say self lines iter map x x.len max plus 2? Although that max is probably going to be, uh-oh. There. Okay. Can we do that? Will Rust let us get away with that? Tool top. Should be returning a tooltip. Nope. Oh, as I32. Unwrap. Because it's an option, use size. Yeah, okay. And then we need height. Self lines len as I32 plus 2. And then fn render ctx. So every time we render it, we're going to be generating these things anew. RGB from hex. And then this is light gray. And then white and black. Oop, L-I-G-H-T. Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, this is the same, I think the same colors we used before, and they don't show up really particularly well. I mean, it's white on light gray, which is hard to read. Or it doesn't have enough contrast. Draw. Box. Self width. Height. Nice one. White and box gray. 4IS. And self lines. Iter. Enumerate. And then CTX print color. X plus 1, Y plus I as I32 plus 1, black and S. So that's that. Of course, we're not using it anywhere, but let's see if it checks. Good. The most important part of a tooltip is the text. So we have a vector of type string to represent each line. We need a way to make a new tooltip. So we have a constructor, which is a new. We need a way to add lines. So there's the add. We need to know how wide the tip is so we can figure out where to put it on the screen. So we have a width function. Goes to each line of the tooltip, finding the longest width. We aren't supporting wrapping yet. And using that with 2 added to it to take into account the border. We also need to know tooltip's height. So it's the number of lines plus 2 for the border. We need to be able to render the tooltip from the console. So this is the draw box. And then we draw each string in the box. So now we need to actually use some tooltips. We largely replace the draw tooltips function. We start by obtaining access to the various parts of the ECS we need. All right. So we still do this. We still fetch the map. We still fetch the names and positions and the hidden. And now we're going to fetch attributes, pools, and entities. Pools and entities. And this is pools. And this is attributes. Okay. Next we create the mouse position. Yep. And this, okay, I'm going to leave in the -1 for now, but we're going to change this if it turns out that's wrong. And if the mouse is off the screen, then we return, so that's the same. Notice how we're calling return if the mouse cursor is outside the map. We're also adding a min-x and min-y to find on-screen position in map space. And subtracting 1 to account for the map's border. The mouse map pause now contains the mouse cursor location on the map. Next we look to see what's here and if it needs a tooltip. We also have this check here for visible tiles, which I'm going to leave in, and we'll see if that works out. So this is called tip boxes now. Back to tooltip. Okay, then we have entity, name, position, and hidden. In entities, names, positions, and hidden. And not hidden, sorry. There's a little bang in front of that. We'll do a join. If position X is mouse map pause and position Y is mouse map pause 1, then we're making a new vector called tip boxes. Oh, I see. Let mut tip is tool tip new. And then tip.add name to string. We don't want to do that here, right? I'm a little confused. Vector of tooltips up here. Here we create a new tooltip and we add the tooltip itself has a list of tooltips in it. Right, so this is a tooltip. It has a list of all the tooltips that are for a given location. So when we create a vector of tooltips, that means we're going to create a bunch of different boxes of tooltips. The tooltip has just a bubble says tooltip has a list of lines to draw. If that's true, if we create a new tooltip and then we add the name, that name has to go somewhere. Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, so we are doing it this way. We're creating a new tooltip. Tip add name to string, and then inside this we're going to continue to extend the tooltip. It looks like we're putting a period and then a space, except for unhealthy for some reason. Okay, well let's see how this goes. Then tip boxes has to get a push, right? There's that. Okay. But it gets a push of a tip. Okay, so let's do that. And then let adder equals attributes. Yeah. Get entity. if let sum, okay, we can do that here. If let sum adder let mut s equals string, or we could do a string new, right? If adder might bonus is less than 0, s plus equals weak, full stop, space, and then we're going to do, if it's greater than 0, strong, and then quickness, fitness, and intelligence, right? Quickness, and these become clumsy and agile. This is fitness, and these become unhealthy. The string should be strong, and then we have intelligence, and it should be unintelligent. Oops. And smart. Okay. Then if s is empty, s equals quite average to string. All right, and then we add tip add s. Now we look to see if the entity has attributes. If it does, we look at the bonus for each attribute and add a descriptive word for it. If there's no modifiers, we use quite average. And then we comment on the pools. Keep doing that. I don't know why he doesn't combine them into one line. Tip add format bang level that stat level, and then we do a tip boxes push. If there are no tooltips, then we may as well exit the function now. So we can say if tip boxes is empty, return. Okay, so now all this code here is what's drawing the tip box, and we're going to modify all of this, right? So we've made it this far. There are tooltips. We use code similar to what we had before to determine whether to place the tip on the left or the right of the target, whichever side has more room. So here's the arrow. Okay. It looks like we're just rewriting all of this, right? And here's another call to box gray, which we don't have up here. All right. And then white. Okay. So what is this doing here? Arrow, arrow X, arrow Y. We're going to set arrow to the arrow, arrow X, and arrow X. Okay, so we can say let arrow Y equals mouse pause dot 1, and let arrow and arrow X equal less than 40, and then we're going to return a tuple of 2 CP437 of this thing here, comma, mouse pause dot 0 minus 1, else this, and +1. Okay. And CTX set arrow X, arrow Y, white, box gray, and arrow. Okay. I'm going to just delete all of this code here. Alright, see how we're setting arrow X and arrow Y? If the mouse is on the left half of the screen, we place it on one tile to the left of the target. If it's on the right half of the screen, place the tip to the right. We also know which character to draw. Next, we'll calculate the total height of all the tooltips. Can we do a sum? It's just a TT height, right? So let total height is tip boxes iter map. Let's say TT, right? To TT.height sum unwrap. I think it's an unwrap. This is just the sum of the height functions of all the tips. Actually, I think the way sometimes my hands get away from me. Oh, look at that. Checksum. Okay. I think we can just call this. I think that map allows you to do that. Let me see what happens if I cargo check that. No. I thought there was a way to do that. Oh, that calls height on TT instead of TT.height. Dang. Can't infer type. I wonder what the type is. Height is I32, right? And then we don't need an unwrap. Yeah, okay, that works. And then let mut y mouse pause 0 minus total height over 2, while y plus total height over 2 is greater than 50, y minus equals 1. Really? Can't we just subtract and get that directly? I mean, I'll put this in, but I think we can just subtract. Instead of having to do that, we can just calculate it all at once here. Okay, finally we actually draw the boxes. All right, here we go. For TT in tip boxes iter, if mouse pause not 0 is less than 40, so we're checking again to see where we are. Mouse pause not 0 minus 1 plus TT width. Else plus. All right, that's our X position, and then TT render CTX XY Y plus equals TT height. All right, that checks. So let's see if the tooltips work. And then I think I'm going to call it a stream. Oh, we're almost done. We'll enable a consumable hotkeys. Okay, we have enough time to finish this out. I thought this was going to go a little longer. Why does that say keg? Oh, if you're pointing at two things at the same time. Neat. Okay. So let's run this and see it panic. No, it didn't panic. Oh, the little mouse follow thing doesn't exist. Barkeep, smart, level 1. Yeah, I have to shift out, down. Player, quite average, level 0, and a scroll of magic mapping. And then here's a patron. And there's a chair. There's a door. Okay, I'm going to change that shift. I'm not sure why. That's shifted. Yeah, Just a Bubble says it might need to remove those -1s. I'm not, I mean, We are shifting the map down and to the right because of this border thing. So I would have thought that that would be the right thing to do, but it's not working. So, and we also lost our little purple mouse follower thing. Maybe I shouldn't have just deleted that code. Yeah, but now when I point, everything is pointing right. Ooh, shady salesman. Everybody's quite average, except for the barkeep. He's smart. Okay. So that's working. Let's check this in. I keep saying check this in because it's a term I use at work. I actually just want to commit this. Oh, staged. So what we do is we added the tooltips. Yeah, okay. Git add commit -m added tooltips. Now we're going to add hotkeys. Oops. Since we added a spiffy new way to use consumables from the UI, we should make them do something. We handle all our player input in player.rs. So let's go there and look at the appropriate named player input function. We'll add a section at the beginning to see if shift is held down. That's what the up arrow generally indicates. And call it new function if shift and a number key are down. Okay. What is all this? This should be pretty easy to understand, it says, but I'm trying to see how does this shoehorn into the code we already have. Looks like I may have changed the code a bit. Yeah. So we're going to have to change this, and this says 1 through 9. If some key is key, use consumable hotkey, and that's only if CTX shift is set. So I think what we can do here is say if CTX shift, and then do all this code. That key is, okay, option I32, match CTX, match key. All right, because we already unwrapped it here, so we're just matching it here, and then I guess we're going to shadow it here. Key 1, sum 1. This feels awkward to me doing it this way. Oops, I don't have enough yet. That's 7, right? No, it's 8, 9, 10, 9. There's only 9. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Otherwise, it's none. And then we're going to say if let sum key equals key. So we're shadowing it a second time. Return use consumable key, gs key -1. Okay, and then we fall down into that. Okay, that works. And now we have to write use consumable hotkey. So let's put that down here. Okay. Consumable in backpack and wants to use item. Are these not already at the top? Yeah, I did use crate star, so I think we're good with those. Just ECS read storage. And then we have backpack. and then player entity GS ECS fetch, and then let entities like that, and then carried consumables. I'm going to separate this out here. Carried consumables for entity carried by in entities backpack consumables dot join if carried by owner. So this is the code that needs to match exactly in the same order. Right? If this isn't in the same order that's being displayed on the UI, then they won't map. The number key won't map to what the user is being shown. If we're pressing a key that's not available, use creates component ranged. What? If let some ranged. I'm going to just look at the top here. Looks like we do create star, we can do creates component ranged here. GS, ECS, read storage, ranged, get, carried, consumables, key as usize. Yeah. Why don't we just pull it in as usize? I don't know why. Return, run state, show targeting, range, ranged, item, carried, consumables, key as usize. I bet. Yep. Otherwise, we're going to want to use the item, intent, insert, player entity, wants to use item, no target, and then return, run state, player return. Modprog, hi. How you doing? Thank you for the raid. Hope you had a good stream. You worked on Togglebits thing, yeah? Hopefully that went well. I'll have to take a look at the VOD. Return run state player return. Otherwise, if this is not true, then just run state player return. I guess we could just fall through. But... all right, so we add a few use statements. Yeah. We obtain access to a few things from the ECS. We iterate carried consumables exactly like we did for the GUI, but without the name. We store these in carried consumables vector. We check that the requested keystroke falls inside the range. We check to see if the item requires range targeting. If it does, we need to show the targeting thing. Oh, I misspelled targeting. Yep. If it doesn't, then we insert a wants to use item component, right? Just like we did for the inventory, and then we'll return player turn. The rest will happen automatically. All right, so let's see. Does this check first of all? It doesn't because I messed up a brace somewhere along the line. Here, and insert. No, that insert is right there. Usually it can tell me. It's saying it's on this join here. Oh, there. Okay, and now something else is wrong. Doesn't, oh, I forgot to put a semi. And then GS. ENTITIES. Okay, so this checks. So let's see if we can actually use the consumable now using the hotkey. If I hit Shift 1, it should eat some dried sausage, or Shift 2 should drink some beer. I thought well-fed conferred some sort of a bonus, but that bonus is not showing up anywhere. Okay, well, let's hit refresh. That's working, that's working. Let's get hungry. So now it no longer shows well-fed. If I hit Shift 1 to eat the dried sausage, yeah, that worked. You eat the dried sausage. I can consume the beer too. That's not going to help because I'm already at max HP. Okay, so that's working. In this chapter, we built a pretty nice GUI. It's not as slick as it could be yet. We'll be adding to it in the coming chapter, but it provides a good base to work from. This chapter has illustrated a good process for building a GUI. Draw a prototype and gradually implement it. Here's the iterative process, and there's the source code. Okay, so I think we're going to wrap things up now. Git add source, git commit, enable hotkeys for item use, git push, and let's see what this looks like. Yeah, reasonable number of changes. That's good. Tomorrow we are going to work on Into the Woods. Okay. So we'll see how that goes. Just a Bubble says, if only beer restored HP in real life instead of the opposite. Yeah, I hear you. Okay, so let's go to my Twitch search. Go run Rust. Hey, Epic, how are you? Boppy Games is learning Rust. Shall we go invade Boppy Games? Let me pull up my music here and pause that and go take a look at Boppy Games, see what Boppy Games is doing. They've been live for about a half hour. Oh, I have to sit through a commercial. Okay. Yeah, so we did some good stuff today. We got the GUI revamped. It's a little bit bigger. A lot more room for the scroll log, and we learned that the debug version of the WASM is really, really slow, and too slow for playability or testability. Even though it builds faster, it plays far too slow. All right, so Boppy Games is a very fast talker. Very cool. Okay, so let's go invade Boppy Games. And let's see how I can figure out how to do a raid without having followed the person yet. There we go. All right. Thanks, everybody, for watching and hanging out with me and all the help along the way. And I will catch you tomorrow where we're going to start doing the Into the Woods. Take care.